All right, fellas, it is story time, article time, and this one is from a website called divorcemoms.com, and you cannot make this up. There actually is a website for divorced mothers who I imagine are now single mothers. And here to help out with tonight's coaching video is Cash. I've got him on my lap here, sitting on my lap, woke up from his nap, so he's going to help with this article tonight. And this is going to be pretty hilarious. And we're just going to crack into this. I'll let you guys judge for yourselves. But this article is entitled, 4 Things I Would Tell Men Who Trade Up for Younger Women. Are you listening, you age Lotharios? We're going to jump into this article by Nancy Leigh King. 4 things that she would tell a man who has traded up for a younger woman, and I'm guessing this has happened to her, just based on looking through this article. But we're going to read it tonight, and it's quite hilarious. So let's jump right in, shall we? On the subject of men trading up for younger women, I think we can assume the wife didn't just step aside, realizing she had reached that invisible expiration date on her butt. Some men don't leave a marriage without somewhere to go. So when we're on the subject of older men and younger women, we're probably talking cheating and lying as matching bookends. Okay. I always wonder, what do these aged Lotharios see when they look in the mirror? Do they worry about the potentially deadly side effects of mixing, I don't know, receptor blockers and vasodilators with Viagra? And there goes the Rogaine. No mixing that drug with a young, fertile female, or the second set of kids are coming out with hair growing out of their eyeballs and a few less chromosomes. Somebody sounds really, really salty here. Okay, and this writer here sounds like she's speaking from experience. She doesn't sound happy about it. And before we go any further, all I could say is, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? All right, that's what they love to say to us, right, guys? When we have our little rants, who hurt you? Who hurt you? But this is going pretty far in the insults and the shaming and the belittling. So maybe now we can see why the author of this article is divorced, right? I mean, would you want to put up with this? I mean, already we're only 2 paragraphs in, and already with just the belittling language here. Is, you know, I mean, this is pretty much verbal abuse at this point. I mean, even though she does have some points, you know, maybe her husband did leave her for a younger woman, but this is some very classic verbal abuse. But let's go on. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt for now. The reasons older men chase younger women have less to do with sex and everything to do with a profound desire to reassure ourselves that we've still got it. It isn't just physical attractiveness, she goes on to say. It's the whole masculine package of youth, vitality, and above all else, possibility. It's not that women our own age are less attractive, it's that they lack the culturally based power to reassure our fragile, aging egos that we are still hot and hip. Hip! Hey man, are you hip? I'm hip. Hip to be square. And filled with potential. Inspiring desire in women young enough to be our daughters becomes the most potent of all anti-aging remedies, particularly when we can show off our much younger dates to our peers, says Professor Hugo Schweizer, Pasadena City College. Okay, first off, this guy, I can tell you, has not dated women younger than him, at least much younger than him, definitely not in their 20s, and he's teaching at a city college. So 2 strikes against you, Professor. And discredit your theory here. And the third strike being that I myself am an older man. I am dating a much younger woman who is 20 years old, and I'm not doing it to basically, parade her around for these reasons you're stating here. Fragile aging egos. No, I mean, at any age, no matter what age a guy is, whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, 50s, even if you're just in your teens, and you have a hot chick, she's arm candy, right? She's arm candy. She's social proof, right? It helps attract other women as well. I can assure you to that fact. It does attract other women as well. So it's really... these statements are pretty baseless. I'd like to see the data on that, which you likely do not have. It says, I am not a therapist or professor of geriatric sex-related studies, but I am a woman who went through what is referred to perfectly as a gray divorce due to my husband cheating with younger women. So her husband was cheating on her with younger women. Could it be because of her attitude? No, she's perfect, right? She's perfect. She says, I did the filing and I've done the crying, but in spite of ending a relationship with someone I loved more than half my life, I now see him as sad and an utter idiot. So this is how you refer to the father of your children, as a sad and utter idiot? And really, okay, you can say those things. She's obviously speaking in the heat of anger. She's obviously still angry at him. There's a lot of already, we're not even halfway in this article, and there's a lot of contempt, not only for her husband, but for basically any man that happens to date a woman who's younger than him. It sounds like she's bitter, right? She's bitter, and really, at the end of this, nowhere so far has she accepted any accountability for anything she did wrong, right? You can't just blame him completely for cheating on you with younger women, right? Maybe he is a cheater, giving you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's a cheater, but is there something you did as well to kind of like promote this behavior in him? Even when it comes to my ex from 2006, who, that ended badly, she flat out cheated. She flat out monkey branched, right? Flat out wrong. And I called her out for that in several vids. However, I did look at like what I did wrong, and I've admitted that, or I've admitted what I've done wrong in those videos, right? I've taken responsibility for my part, which was basically simping, rewarding her bad behavior, and never holding her accountable. I took responsibility for that because that's the only way you learn, right? But with Nancy here, she's relieving herself of all responsibility. No, her ex-husband is just a sad and utter idiot. You're not going to learn anything from that, Nancy, by just blaming him for everything, right? Sure, maybe he's responsible for the bulk of this, but you know what? Takes two to tango, as they say. You gotta be able to look in the mirror and look at what you did as well, so you don't carry those things on into your next relationship. Okay, so it says, to go on with her story here, here are 4 things I would say to any older man chasing after a younger woman. Go! Number 1, go! You've most likely become a burden to your wife, who's held up her end of the bargain, and 1,000 balls, including the kids, the house, the bills, the aging parents, your health issues, your bad decisions, your embarrassing conduct, while reverting to behavior more identifiable with a teenager than a grown man. See how much the new girl likes worrying about your all too frequent colonoscopies. So, again, with the verbal abuse, right? She's verbally abusive. I'm just going to say that flat out, without even going that much further. We have to get out of the way. This woman is verbally abusive. So I'm not surprised that this guy was going and cheating. Number 2, while you think you're the envy of your friends with the younger woman on your arm, you are only advertising your deepest sense of failure. A girlfriend with a birth certificate the same year you graduated from college, or within spitting distance of one of your children's grade school years advertises your insecurity on every level. Okay, more verbal abuse here. Just because you're dating a younger woman, it doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're insecure. Actually, it means the opposite. It means that you could still get women that young, that hot, that are desired by thousands and thousands of men, right, Cash? Usually it's the younger women, because I get this on my channel too, right? I get a lot of these type of older women that are bitter, that are, like divorced and damaged, that are angry because I represent one of these guys. And I will tell you, as a lifelong pickup artist, the hardest women to pick up, to game, are these younger women, because they have their pick of the litter. They have just millions of men all across the world trying to basically get them, right? Get them to be with them. And for you to get one of these girls and beat out all of this competition, that says something about you. It says you're a winner. I'm sure Nancy doesn't like to hear that, but it does. And a matter of fact, just to go a step further, actually what she's saying is the reverse. So for these older guys who date older women, right? These older guys who have to settle for older women, the reason why they do that is because they do not have enough skill, enough charisma, enough character, enough self-belief to get the younger women. At the end of the day, as much as these guys want to play mental gymnastics, like, no, I want a woman I can relate to. I want a woman I can have conversations with. No, dude, the reason why you're settling is because you can't get younger women. Because if you could, you would, right? If you could, you would. And Tom Likas used to say that all the time. This is the only reason why you're dating a woman your own age, if you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, is because you have to. Right? This is why you need to get the 7 months of mastery, son. Get in 7 months of mastery so you can learn these skills and you don't have to settle for women your own age. But when you see a guy who's like single at 50 and he's dating 50 to 60-year-old women, that's when Nancy's statements would hold true, that he's really advertising his sense of failure and his insecurities, because that's all he could get. Because as I've told you guys, there's no reason for you to date women your own age if you're in that age bracket, right? No reason at all. You should be dating much younger women. And I will tell you that as somebody who's been doing pickup and game for the last 3 decades, no reason at all. Okay, her third point is you probably boozed away any sense of responsibility for your poor decisions, and finding your self-respect may be more elusive than finding your hairline. This chick is like really, really going beyond the verbal abuse here. Don't look for it from people who really cared about you. They may still love you, but the respect is sagging, just like your pectoral muscles. Dude, the amount of insults that this chick has to throw out in every statement. I mean, this is an article, and she still can't control her emotions, right? She still has to go to the ad hominems, the name calling, the personal attacks, no different than any other female hater I've ever had on my channel. And sadly, some male haters who get stuck in their feminine frame and start acting like a chick, right? And it's sad because these people don't realize I teach self-development and I see right through their games. And I mean, really what they're doing is just, advertising their inability to debate like a mature person. And obviously this chick, I mean, everything she's saying here is really a self-projection of herself, right? I mean, it's really a self-projection of her own insecurities, her own anger, her own contempt for men that have left her. Well, her husband that has left her, because obviously she's a ball buster. Let's call a spade, man. This chick is a ball buster. God, that's what we call him, right? She's a ball breaker. She was breaking her husband's balls daily, and he finally just got fed up with it, right? He just finally got fed up with it. But then again, he should never have married her in the first place. So that's his fault. He should never marry you in the first place, Nancy. And I would be shocked as shit if you ever get married again, or you're even in a dating relationship with another man again who puts up with this. I would not put up with your mouth, man. I would not, right? Because I don't have to. And the reason why guys date younger women is because they don't have this type of mouth yet. You know why? Because they don't have all of that emotional baggage and the mental damage and the years of therapy that you had to go through and the divorces and the kids from multiple fathers, they don't have to deal with that shit show. Right? You don't have to when you date a younger woman. I mean, my girl's 20, doesn't have kids, doesn't have emotional baggage, and you know what? It's one of the most, I should say, pleasant relationships I've ever had. And I've dated women my own age when I was in my 20s, even up into my early 30s, and that's when I learned. I was like, no, these chicks over 30 are damaged. I got to start going younger. Where do you think I started learning this stuff? I learned from experience. Okay, number 4, let's see Nancy's fourth point. You've traded your once life partner for a partner in crime. What comes around goes around, my dear. Enjoy. I advise learning to live with regret. And just so you can identify what regret is, since you are full of self-justification but void of any authentic feelings or conscience, that's the feeling you get every time you write a check for child support for people whose lives you're not really included in any longer. Breaking the hearts of everyone who loved you comes with a stiff price tag and not just a court-ordered one, mister. After my brother became a widower, he discussed his feelings with me about being single at 50. So her brother was single at 50. When I mentioned something about the probability he'd begin dating younger women, he looked at me like I was seriously delusional. My brother is a confident, well-adjusted, successful person with many accomplishments and talents. Dating a woman he'd have to explain the last 2 decades to while they were still being potty trained sounded like, as he put it, pure torture. I have not had that experience with younger women I've dated, even before my girlfriend. Before her, actually a year before her, I was dating a 19-year-old who was part of my 6-girl dating rotation that I had at one point. And she was 19, and we didn't have that issue. You know, sure, there were, moments of immaturity here and there that was to be expected from just lack of life experience. But overall, I'd trade those moments of immaturity that I saw from younger women I've dated. I'd trade that any day. I would not trade that any day for an older woman that I can relate to with a big mouth that doesn't shut up and puts me down every sentence and verbally abuses me and breaks my balls every single second of the day. I would not trade that for the world. Okay, but let's go on with Nancy's story. After my brother became a widower, okay, so we read that part. So now her brother is happily married to a committed and wonderful woman, vastly accomplished herself. Ladies, men don't want a vastly accomplished woman. We just want a hot woman, right? Because when I hear stuff like that, when you hear stuff like that, she's vastly accomplished herself. What does that tell you? It tells you that she's likely a ball buster, right? It tells you that she's likely a corporate career chaser, right? Tells you that she's likely a bit self-centered. Definitely, I've told you guys this over and over, as a woman ages, she doesn't become more feminine, she becomes more masculine, right? She becomes more masculine. She becomes more of a ball buster. So that's what vastly accomplished means. Translates, at least in the Red Pill book definition dictionary, is that when a woman says she's vastly accomplished, you can just expect this chick to break your balls. So her brother married one of these chicks because he couldn't get younger women. Mirroring his approach to life, and who happens to be a couple... Oh my gosh. This chick that her brother married is a couple of years older than him. So this guy has no game. Right? I'm going to say that as a dating coach. The reason why he's 50 and he had to settle for a 52-year-old is because he has no game. He could have at least got a 32-year-old. That's not hard to get at all, right? Especially at 50. He could get a 32-year-old easily. Right? That's still post-wall, but that's not nearly as bad as a 52-year-old. Can you imagine the level of, just the level of emotional trauma that this chick is carrying, the amount of therapy sessions this chick is carrying, and now he's going to be with her? Most of your energy, you guys who who are like her brother, and you're dating these older women, I'm telling you, man, most of your energy goes towards recovering from all of the physical and mental exhaustion from having to deal with your woman's mouth all day long, talking about how great she is, how lucky you are to be with her, how fantastic she is, bragging about her corporate job, bragging about her degrees and her education. Yeah, you guys have fun with that, and you date those older women. I'll stick with my younger women and deal with their infrequent or intermittent levels of, spouts of immaturity from time to time, just because they're young. It's fine, right? I would take that any day over a big mouth from somebody who is my age, if not older, who's going to be belittling me every second of the day. No thanks. And not surprised, this chick is on this website called Divorce Moms. Not surprised at all. So her brother marries this chick, 2 years older than him because he has no game, and he's an AFC. He's a chump. So she goes, they're an anomaly, I tell them. Two people in their late 50s who found happiness with each other. Yeah, you bet your ass they're an anomaly. That doesn't happen, And this chick that your brother married should be thanking her lucky stars, because these type of chicks, if she were to advertise herself on some dating site, she would not be able to get any guy to pay attention to her that is not, her grandpa's age. So she goes on to say, it happens, but not a lot, based on guys I've seen online who say they're 50, look 60, and desire no one above 40 as potential dating material. Sounds about right. Finally, we get an honest answer out of Nancy. She says that based on the guys that she's seen online, because obviously she's online, she says they say they're 50, but they look 60, and they don't want to date anyone above 40. But if they're a student of mine, it would be no one above 30. Because that is the cutoff when you're part of the 7 Months Mastery Program and the 33 Secrets. No women over 30. Why? It's because, beside the fact that, women under 30 are way hotter, right? Way tighter, bodies tighter, not a scratch on their faces, right? Still like a porcelain-looking face, no gray hair, no issues, health issues whatsoever. For the most part, no mental issues yet. Once you start to go above 30, that's when you start dealing with all of the, annual carousel riders that are still out there proclaiming that 30 is a new 20. So she goes on to say, my brother's also the avid golfer who told me after spending thousands of hours with other men on golf courses that just about every middle-aged man he's ever had the divorce conversation with has said the same thing after a few years with the younger wife or girlfriend they lost their family over. It had not been worth it. It's probably because you're doing it wrong, man. See, the problem with these guys is they leave their wives and they're able to get this younger woman because they're a higher value male with more financial resources, but they're still missing those components of game. So even if they got with a woman who was their own age, they would still have this result, and they would still be saying the same thing. It wasn't worth it. Dude, you have to fix your game. It's not the women, it's you. You have to fix your game. Okay, you can't just blame it on the younger wife or girlfriend. That really has nothing to do with it. It's your game at that point. When these guys leave their wives for a younger woman and it goes astray, the reason it goes astray is the same reason why it went astray with your wife. Because you lack game. You lack this type of knowledge, right? You can't be dating women these days without this red pill knowledge. And beyond that, without pickup in game, without a skill set, right? You're going to be like a deer in the headlights like many of these guys. All right, it says, just like a new expensive car, the newness wears off surprisingly quick. They just traded one set of fixable issues for another set. That, with years in age difference, widened significantly. My divorce attorney pretty much told me the same thing, telling me he gets a good deal of business from husbands when they divorce their trophy wives. All right, some men don't just wake up one day and turn into shallow morons. again with the belittling language and the name calling. They were that way from the get-go. I can now look back because the view is unobstructed by my ex. I realize I fell for the very characteristics that would one day come back and bite me in the ass. I didn't poach him off another woman, but I knew he had a Peter Pan complex. So all you guys dating younger women, you have a Peter Pan complex. Let's face it, some men are stupid, and you can't fix stupid, but you can divorce stupid. My stupid, I'm working on that, and forgiving myself. And here she goes on to list an FAQ section, a frequently asked questions section about older men and younger women. So let's see what Nancy has to say here. Why do married men chase younger women? Married men chase younger women to reassure themselves of their masculinity, vitality, and to satisfy their aging egos. Our aging egos. It's not so much about sex and finding women their age unattractive. Actually, a lot of it's about sex. Okay, not so much about sex and finding women their own age unattractive, as it's about, well, no, we do find women our own age unattractive. They're looser, they're fatter, they have bigger mouths, they're less feminine. Yeah, we do find them more unattractive. They can't stop talking about themselves. Yes, we do find them unattractive. Their age is unattractive, as it is about reassurance that they still have what it takes to have an affair with a younger woman. That's one big ass self-projection here. One thing I noticed with a lot of these women who do these articles, guys, when they're sitting here and trying to basically denigrate men, a lot of it is, if not all of it, is the self-projection. So a lot of what she's saying here are self-projections. These are things that women do, right? Women will date much younger men to convince themselves that they've still got it. Right? To convince themselves that they're still wanted by the other sex. Men we don't do that, right? We don't care about that. We're just cared about all we care about is like having something pretty to look at, and nice arm candy. Okay, she goes on to say, are men chasing younger women insecure? Men chasing younger women who may enjoy the envy and attention of their friends, but cannot steer clear of the insecurity they reflect. Having an affair with a woman half your age isn't a matter of pride, but failure and insecurity on every level. So another self-projection here. When she talks about men chasing younger women and that they enjoy the envy and attention of their friends, no, that is women who do that. Women want to date a Chad. They want to date a guy who's 6'4", 225, former college quarterback, because, now working as a stockbroker or working in finance, they want to date that guy because they want to show him off to their friends, right? She's really self-projecting here. And this is something that women will commonly do, right? They want the envy and attention of their friends, so that's why they bring the Chad around. And really, at the end of that rope is a deep level of insecurity. Exactly what she said. Men don't date younger women for those reasons, man. Yeah, it's cool to have nice arm candy, but we're not really dating her for that reason. No, she's wrong. And then she goes on again with the belittling language. Having an affair with a woman half your age isn't a matter of pride, but failure and insecurity on every level. No, going out with a woman half your age, if you're able to pull that off, that means you've got some skills, son. That means that you're likely a high-value guy, because these young hot women don't go for just anybody. They want high-value guys, and this just shows that you're one of them. This is why when you walk into a room with a hot chick on your hand, other hot chicks will pay attention to you. Other hot chicks will want you, because they'll be like, hey, what does she see in him? Oh, there must be something about him, right? But if you walk in with a woman your own age, some 52-year-old, and you're 50, no one's going to be looking at you with envy. People are going to be looking at you like, okay, whatever, nice couple, but that's the best he can get, right? That's what most people will say. That's the best he can get. Is chasing younger women a responsible behavior? Married men who chase younger women reflect irresponsible behavior and a lack of self-respect. Man, this chick sounds like a like a demeaning teacher or something, right? You ever have like a mean, demeaning teacher just constantly like putting you down? I mean, the number of put downs in this one article alone tell me everything I need to know about her marriage here and why it went astray. I mean, if you had to deal with somebody constantly putting you down like this, anytime you did something that she didn't agree with, I mean, God help you. Their behaviors are devoid of any sense of responsibility and societal norms. Societal norms? What's societal norm? Right? Being a cog in the wheel, working a 9-to-5 job for your entire life, dying poor. What's societal norms? Because that's what I hear when I see societal norms. No. Will he regret losing family because of a younger woman? Yes, he will definitely regret losing family for the younger woman, especially when he gives money to his ex and children in alimony and child support. You cannot go scot-free, mister, after breaking trust and the hearts of those you once claimed to love. Jeez, man, with a vengeance, this chick. This chick is like, is pretty angry. Here she is right here. Nancy Lake King is a writer and a divorced mom. Okay. Her writing has been featured on Maria Shriver. Yeah, another divorced woman, right? I remember Arnold, her husband, who I'm not a fan of right now, since he was like, screw your freedoms. When they divorced, he looked so happy. And he even had a shirt that said, I survived Maria. Yeah. So apparently she has her own website. And she also has been featured on the Huffington Post Divorce Vertical. And this is the problem, guys. You have divorced women like Nancy here teaching other divorced women. And this is not the way you handle a divorce, by the way. You don't handle it by constantly taking shots at your ex-husband, especially when your children will likely see these articles at some point. And she's probably bashing her husband to the children when she has them. I'm sure she's just running amok and talking about what a awful person he is and how terrible he is and how horrible he is and what an utter idiot he is to the children who probably don't want to hear it. They're probably tired of it, Nancy. So let's just go down into some of the comments here. There was one that I wanted to read. Well, there was a couple of them here before we close up. Here's one from Vance. Vance says, the article is written based on one person's story. No problem with that. The problem is the author tries to convince everyone that any man who leaves his wife for a younger woman is stupid and just like her ex-husband. In other words, this author just showed why men leave their wives or are sick of putting up with this kind of attitude. Kaboom. He just said it right there. Pound dog. He just said it right there. Okay? Vance just said what every guy who reads this article is thinking. All right? This is why men leave their wives, because they're sick of putting up with this type of attitude. He knows, Vance knows firsthand, I bet, because he's probably dealt with this himself. He goes on to say, the woe is me, I'm a woman and men are dumb crap doesn't work so well when you're 60 and alone, does it? Boom, he nails it again. He just told this chick the whole I'm woman, hear me roar crap doesn't work so well when you're 60 and you're still alone. It's only your false societal programming that makes you think it's evil for older men to be with younger women. Thank you. And true to form, this article stays right on track with that and includes the double standards that women love to surround themselves with. Exactly. Allow me to throw in a logical perspective. Uh-oh, he's going to be accused of mansplaining. Over half of marriages end in divorce. Of the ones that remain, how many of those do you think are just hanging in there? The statistics speak for themselves. Yet people are trying to continually create this Disney-like fairy tale. In this country, it's failing miserably. And if you think the millennials are going to somehow turn that around, I have oceanfront property in Arizona for you. I always say I have beachfront property in Mexico, but same thing. By the way, I'm happily married for 16 years, and my wife agrees with me completely. Oh, she's a pick-me girl, a pick-me girl. That's what feminists would say. Most people try to work hard on their marriage before they've worked hard on themselves. Hence, they should never have gotten married in the first place, and especially had children. I agree. They simply are not ready. But that's why they call it programming. It works. And here, divorce mom I don't know if this is Nancy commenting or the or the orator of divorce mom. It says the editor here. You're happily married, yet here you are commenting on a site for divorced women. And then she goes on to state a few straw mans, and then, of course, in true fashion, she just proves this point right here at the end. She says, your comment has just proven that some men are dumb. So, again, with the name calling. I mean, you know the funny thing about going red pill, guys, is you don't gain more respect for women, you lose more respect for women. The more red pill you go, the more respect you lose for women, because you see that they can't even have a mature, logical, reasonable argument or debate with anybody without name calling, without shaming tactics, without using some form of manipulation. You know what we call that? We call that psychotic behavior, basically, right? That's called psychotic behavior. You're a sociopath. I'm going to read one more comment before we close up here. This is from a woman. This woman says, I'm 24 years younger than my partner. He started relationship with me while divorcing his wife of very close age to his. So I'm the younger woman that he so-called left for. Except for his previous relationship was dead misery. No surprise there, dead misery. Were you married to Nancy? Dead misery, and was finished by the time I came on the scene. His wife was just using him to live her cozy, easy lifestyle and gave nothing back in any way. I can believe that. This was the reason why he looked my way. If he was happy in his current relationship, he would not leave. People change as they age, and every case is different, but usually blokes don't look elsewhere if they are happy with what they have. That is actually very, very true. Right? Guys will not go anywhere. And it doesn't take much to keep us happy. It does not take much to keep us happy at all. Right? Just, hey, be feminine. Stop being such a loud-mouthy insinuator who is constantly, throwing the put-downs towards us. And just be feminine and give us back massages once in a while. Be a little submissive. Right? Doesn't mean that you can't have a life and you can't, do your thing. But stop being such a dude. Stop competing with your men. And you know what? They won't run off on you. It's not hard at all to keep a man. It's so easy, it's insane. It's so much easier to keep a man than it is a woman, let me tell you that. So it shows it's not their fault if it happens. Agree and disagree with what she's saying here. He shouldn't get married in the first place. You need to vet your partners more. Just to say that we have a very nice relationship together, although I would never encourage anyone to go for such a large age difference. Why not? It's fine. I feel in long term is going to bring too many issues, and so it can't work well forever. But for now, we are happy, and what will be, will be. We'll have to deal with it when the time comes. Also to say that I'm a very independent woman, looking after myself quite well, and the reason I'm with him is not because he treats me as his sugar baby, but because we genuinely love each other. And of course, divorced mom ain't going to be happy about this chick, this younger woman, because this is a chick that they despise, that is taking their men. And she goes on to say, divorce mom says, oh, sweetheart, talk to his ex-wife, and you'll get the truth about his marriage. Seriously, call his ex-wife and get her side of the story before believing anything he tells you. Bless your heart. In that case, if his ex-wife is anything like Nancy, I'd be like, go ahead and call her. Call that biatch and see what she has to say. You're going to want to hang up on her ass, right? Within like within like 30 seconds, you're going to want to hang up on this chick, because all she's going to be like blah, 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 put down, and then she'll even probably put you down, right? As his new woman. She'll like, what are you doing? You're just a baby. What do you know? Blah, blah, blah. And you're just going to hang up on her. So yeah, call the ex-wife and you'll see why this guy left. So yeah, I have no problem with that. No problem at all. But in any case, guys, that wraps up tonight's story. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this divorced mom who is clearly very angry, very salty, and very bitter at older men like us who are dating much younger women. Right? The same women here that just can't be feminine for a moment, right? They just can't. I mean, God forbid they submit to their man, or they cook for him, or they do something for him, or they just shut up once in a while. Sometimes that's all it takes, right? Even if you don't want to be submissive, just shut up once in a while, okay? Just take a break from busting on him so often. I mean, just give it a rest. And you know what? Maybe he won't stray on you. But a lot of these chicks who are in their middle ages here, they just can't control themselves, man. Like I said, the older a woman gets, the more masculine she becomes. And this is the stuff you guys get to deal with. You guys who are in your 50s and, need to date somebody I could relate to. There you go. Can you relate to that? Have fun. Enjoy. I'll stick with my 20-somethings. And like I said, the only negative that's there that I'll be honest about is every once in a while, there's speckles of immaturity. Does it happen all the time? No. But a lot of times, too, if you correct them, they'll listen. They'll be like, oh, yeah, that's kind of dumb. I won't do that again. Or I won't say that again. Or, yeah, that's kind of stupid. They will actually listen to you, right? They will take your advice. Whereas if that chick is 10 years, even just 10 years older in her 30s, she'll be like, no, you don't tell me what to do. That's mansplaining. Oh, I read Huffington Post. That's mansplaining. I'm on divorcemoms.com. That's mansplaining. That's misogynistic. You can't criticize me. That's the stuff you're going to get, Mr. Oh, I want someone I can relate to. Good luck with that. But as always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Let me know what you think of older men trading up for younger women. Do you agree with Nancy? Do you disagree? Drop those comments below. Let me know what you think about it. And as always, make sure you hit the like button, right? I'm not going to scream this time. My voice is going, so I got to recuperate here. So smash that like button as well. Also hit the notification bell and make sure you're subscribed to the 33 Secrets. Very important. Make sure you're subscribed as well. And for all you guys who want to support my work, and if you love what I'm doing here, the best way to do that is to jump into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that Nancy would be very upset about if you went out there and started approaching. So let's all get together and upset Nancy here and date some younger women. Kidding, right? Just go out there and date younger women, man. Don't settle for women your own age. Only guys who lack game, who lack skill, who are basically chumps, do that. I don't want you to be a chump. You're on my channel. I want you to be a winner. I want you to join me. And right now, it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me. It's only $1. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds. So do that now. And I and Cash we'll see you in our next coaching video. Right? And Cash is the one who's always snoring, by the way. You guys are like, snoring in the background. For Pete's sakes, you guys who have not been here long enough, it's Cash, man. These guys snore. You guys with pugs, you know they snore. You can kind of hear them snorting a little bit. But anyway, signing off. Matt and Cash. Gizmo's in the next room sleeping, so we'll see you in the next coaching video. We're out. Say bye.